800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You can dance, Sean. Go ahead.
No, I can't do all that.
You can do it.
What's up? This is AAR Shanto, and this is Try to Dish Radio. And like we always say, it's all about the food.
The food.
The food.
This is Destination Darie too. And Sean just blew in here. He's like, yeah, we had a good rainstorm up here last night. So.
Yeah, Hair Dog went swimming.
He did?
Yeah.
Did he get a bath?
He did. And Jessa May's been on me to wash that dog and said, look, you put
just
water
throw him out there with some soap.
If you wash that dog and he don't bite you, you've done something.
Anyway, hey everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is actually going to be our regular show slot every week here on Spoony Radio.
Yes.
At 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes.
So tune in. So today is our actual show. We did do a show yesterday. If you want to check it out, we did a 2-hour premiere show.
Yes.
With Andy and Patrick, kind of talking about the project that we have coming up. But today will be our actual 1-hour show, and we actually have our first the chili champ on today, which is the first champ that's going to be featured in this series, Jackie CV. She's going to be calling in just a minute. And anyway, so yeah, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more of these interviews coming up in the next few weeks, like 9 more, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll sit over here.
We need some coffee in the house, please.
Yes, I'm just about to fall out here.
So anyway, Andy Imhoff with Pardon My Fork is taking on 5 of the interviews. So they will be put out through Pardon My Fork, which also funnels through Spoony Radio. So we'll be posting up all of the interview information as they come out. So y'all will have plenty of notice on where you can listen to them and tune in and find out about the story. And basically we're on the road to the final table for WFC 2018, but we're just going to hashtag final table, the final table, I believe. So we'll put some more out about that too as well. So you can find all the different locations on social media where you can find the interviews. So.
I know. I'm not paying attention.
I know you're not doing any social media like Twitter. Don't be threatened.
I don't have Twitter on this phone because this is like my business phone and all the apps have taken over everything. So, yeah, it's like that.
So what'd you cook last night? We're just sitting here waiting for Miss Jackie to call in.
What did I cook last? Actually, you know what? My lovely wife made me a great birthday dinner. Because my birthday, I'm sorry.
Your birthday was the 20th?
My hatch day was Sunday, the 21st.
Yes, that's right.
I couldn't be born on 420.
It was a glorious day back in the day.
I missed it by a day, 420.
You did. You missed the 420.
But anyway, she made spaghetti, adobo, and what else did she make? A whole bunch of stuff. So I'm finishing that off. And of course, I'm not supposed to really eat spaghetti. Don't tell anybody.
I know. Gosh, I love pasta.
Where do you think all this loveliness came from?
All this loveliness, pasta, bread. Well, you know, there's a really good pasta alternative, which is the shirataki noodles. Have you heard of that? They also make a rice product too, by the way. And they're really, you know, they don't have the complete mouthfeel of, pasta.
See what's next to you?
No, don't look at that.
No. That's you might as well tell
Block
me
your eyes.
You might as well tell me to drink brandy instead of drinking whiskey.
I know.
Don't touch my bottle.
What are you gonna do?
I will.
I'm not gonna do anything. I was making it.
I know.
It was a veiled threat.
I know.
Worthless.
And spaghetti squash is a good alternative for pasta, y'all.
No.
Look at him. He ain't going for it. He just ain't going for it. He ain't going to buy it.
No.
I can't even sell that for a nickel.
No. I just like to eat fake rice either.
You know, I think it's all about moderation, really. So I've gotten to the point where if I'm at an Italian restaurant, I'm not going to sit there and not have the bread with the you know, I mean, because I don't do that very often. Like I went and ate Mexican food last night, which is not my typical, and had my little
My
martini
goodness.
margarita, and
What'd you,
that's not what I would usually, you know, eat like that.
what'd
And
you have?
I just had some enchiladas, and yes,
Where'd you go?
just Chewy's.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
Chewy's.
goodness.
That jalapeno ranch stuff, I
Yeah.
got that down pat.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
had that recipe.
You're talking about some good Mexican food. That's
Yeah.
it. That is it.
Yeah, closer, Sean.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. Can we hear you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear me pretty good, actually.
I'm hearing him way too much, y'all.
So
anyway,
I speak kind of soft anyway, so
that is not true.
I do until I get mad.
Oh, Jackie, she is in the queue.
Ah,
So we're going to welcome you to the show, Miss Chili Champ, WFC 2018.
that's perfect. We were just
Yeah,
talking
for-
about Tex-Mex and Mexican food.
So hi, Jackie. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
So glad to talk to
Hi,
you.
how you doing?
Oh,
We're doing
all
great.
right.
And you are the first one
Good to
that,
talk to you too.
yeah, you're the first one that we're interviewing. So you're kicking off the series. So I'm super excited. And her story is amazing.
Oh,
Yes. So I want to know a little bit about, you know, and you sent me a little history, and I just found it fascinating. And it's always people get into cooking, usually through a parent. So tell us a little bit about your story and your history with your grandma and your mom, and what y'all used to do, and how you got into cooking through that.
well, I've always been interested in cooking. When you have a Thai mother, you're going to work in the kitchen. So, so whatever she
favorite
needed
thing.
me to do. So she would make peanut sauce, and she brought this
Wow.
big old mortar and pestle over from Thailand.
Wow.
Nice.
And when she wanted to make peanut sauce, well, like now she's discovered peanut butter. But it's still doing it the old way
Old
with
way,
grinding
yeah.
the peanuts. You know, it was always like sitting on the floor and beating peanuts to a powder, and it
Yeah.
was never fine enough for her. Just beating and beating. So anyway, she's discovered new shortcuts now. So I've always helped her in the kitchen, and then my grandmother, she everything was always cooked from scratch. Her biscuits are amazing. She would make this
Ooh.
fresh
Yeah.
butter because they had cows,
Mm.
and it was so, I mean, you could just eat the butter on a spoon. It was so good.
Oh, my goodness.
So and they always had gardens, and my grandmother and my mother always had gardens. So my mother would always do her own chili. She would make her own chili powder. She would
Nice.
she would grow her own chilies and dry them out, lay them out in the sun.
That's
and dry
really
'em
from
out,
scratch,
and then,
y'all. That's totally from scratch
actually,
right there.
we would toast them in a cast iron skillet, and you always knew
Yeah.
when she was doing that. You get off the school bus, and as you're coming up the driveway, you could all the windows are open. You'd gag.
Yeah, your eyes are burning, nose is running. You know it was going to be good. Now, Jackie, you are the
Oh, yeah.
you're the executive sous chef at Island View Casino Resort in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Yes.
And you've been there for quite a while, and you've opened a
Yes,
lot of
ma'am.
restaurants. So give us a little bit about your restaurant history and your culinary training.
My culinary training, I attended the Baltimore International Culinary College in Baltimore. I went in at 1998, graduated in year 2000. At the same time, while I was doing that, I was working in a classical French restaurant in Ellicott
Wow.
City called Tursicles. And they were country French, and so actually everything that we did at work, I was doing in school. So that kind of helped a lot. Let me see what else. I'm sorry. I know I'm
We
getting
have a
nervous
long,
about
you have a
radio.
long history. You're doing fine. Yeah, tell us your story. And you've been in food sport competition for quite a while. You started way back in 2003, and you were also the culinary director of the American Culinary Federation, which is really neat. So you just kind of got into food sport,
Yes, our local chapter.
right? Through your a restaurant you worked for.
Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, so in 2003, I moved back to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I started working at Grand Casino Biloxi, and I was running the steakhouse over there.
Oh.
And my boss, who was the American Culinary, ACS chapter president for the Mississippi Gulf Coast, he needed contestants. So he would walk through the kitchen and he would try to fill the categories, and he would just drop a drop a packet and say, "Here, fill it out. You're going next week." And
You're
I was
cooking.
like, "Oh my God,
Get busy.
So actually, on my first, my first competition was because it was just a late notice. I actually did the apple tart tatin that we did in the French restaurant, and I won first place. And then, so after I won first place, he kept throwing my name in the hat and saying, "You're doing this and you're doing that." So that started my competition, my competition career. Say career, but it's still going.
So the last couple of years, you were actually sous chef for your boss. And then tell me a little bit about what happened at this last competition. Then we're going to start talking about the final table. So why did you come back as the head cook this year?
Well, I was his sous chef for the first year that we did it, a couple years ago. It was a steak, and then the second year we did it, we were in the seafood category, and we were all ready to go for this last year, 2018, and then at the last minute I entered a local chili competition that was awarding a golden ticket for the World Food Championships, and I won. And he was like, "You weren't supposed to win." I mean, but he didn't mean it that way. But he was happy for me. But we were scrambling at the last minute because I was his sous chef. He had to get somebody else, and I had to get somebody else. And then I ended up winning, becoming the chili champ at the competition. And so now we're going to the final table in 3 weeks.
Yes, I'm so excited. And what dates are the final table again? I bet you have those embedded in your brain. It's the first round will be on May the 18th, and the second round, the second round, if I make it to the second round and third round, will be on the 19th, May the 19th. So tell us a little bit about what you have to
at Noki.
At Noki, and what do you have to do
at Noki? Which is,
I'm not sure where that is. I need to research that because it is
exquisite restaurant.
And
I don't know how I missed that, but it happens sometimes. Yeah. So how are you preparing for this?
It's a closed.
Yeah, it's a closed thing.
It's a private closed thing. Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately.
And I can't talk about what I am going to prepare.
Absolutely, you
can. And but there will be 3 challenges. The first challenge, I don't want to list that either because I don't know how much information I can give out right now because.
Yeah, no worries. I know that you have to make 3 different
asked
dishes.
Mike if that was okay.
Yeah, you have to do. We do all
they have
already
to have
know.
A New Orleans flair.
Right. So that's you kind of have a nice advantage maybe because you're from the Gulf Coast. Yeah, you think?
Well, I don't want to be one of those people because I watched the final table on Netflix and all that other stuff, and I don't want to be one of those people who feel like they have the home team advantage because. Really, New Orleans is made up. It's a mishmash.
Yeah,
it's
true. It is.
It is a cultural gumbo of many different cultures, and a lot of the chefs that have become famous down there. Some of them, such as Emeril Lagasse. Yeah. He's not from there, but he became. He incorporated himself into that culture. So I think that. The more that you practice, there's definitely different types of styles. You have the country style, which is Cajun, and then you have the city style, which is more Creole, and then you have all these different types of styles and everything. So I think that we have some pretty tough competition with the other 9 competitors, and I'm not going to put myself at any higher level than anybody else. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because that would just be too egotistical, and that's just not me.
How did you?
I feel like I have some pretty tough competition.
How did you learn how to cook chili? Because you had mentioned that your grandmother cooked chili. Did you kind of learn from her? And what is what do you think it would be the best way to cook chili? as far as putting it together and the spices and everything?
Actually, okay, so my grandmother is very country, Virginia,
Yeah.
salted ham,
Oh,
kind
yes.
of fried
There you go.
chicken kind of thing.
Yes.
My mother
Yummy.
is from Thailand, and chilies are, she would make her own chili. When I say chilies, it's the peppers,
Peppers, yeah.
chili peppers.
Yeah.
But chili is essentially the spices,
Mhm.
and you can use any kind of meat. I know that the the international chili competition that they have every year, there's Texas style chili, which is no beans, absolutely no beans at all, and they have a lot of tough criteria. And then a lot of people in other areas always put beans in it.
Right.
You have Cincinnati style and all this other stuff. But to me, I feel that chili is about the chili powders.
Ah,
The
yes.
chili powder
Yes.
is about the seasoning and the right balance of seasoning. And although I prefer Texas style chili more because I'm just not a big bean eater.
Me
Mhm.
too. I agree. I
But
agree with you.
I kind of like that style better for myself.
Yeah.
But there's people have chili to me essentially is about the seasoning, and
Seasoning.
spices
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting that right.
And, it's interesting you say that because when I started trying to make chili, I kept making mistakes because I wouldn't, I'm like my tomatoes, I would put in canned tomatoes and stuff like that. And it kept coming out salty, and it was like, oh, okay, I get it. You don't add salt to salt. So that's one of the things that I've learned over the years that I've made chili. What mistakes do you think other people would make as far as making chili?
Using old chili powder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Using old chili powder and the stuff that you buy that are in the containers
Mm-hmm.
at the store, they were made a long time ago.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I just I prefer to buy my own chilies. I like a lot of different types of chilies. The Mexican store
Yes.
Mhm.
always offers a variety of 15 types and everything. And I prepare my chili powder the way my mother does hers,
Oh, nice.
dry roasting it, and then having a dedicated spice grinder to grind down. And then once you get all your different powders, you have to have the right combination
Mhm.
because some of them are smoky, some of them are sweet, some of them are too spicy, some of them are so it's getting the right combination.
Yeah. Most
With
people have,
that.
most people have never made chili outside of using a chili mix or chili powder. But when you go and take the time to actually toast those chilies and then, like what you're saying, grind them up, and it's a whole different flavor level. Now, I tend to use chili powder because I'll be lazy sometimes, but I do make a really good venison chili but I try to use my own spice mix with dried chili, cumin, garlic. I use fresh garlic and onions and stuff. Even though I know in
Sure.
traditional chili competitions, they don't want pieces of onion in there. I don't compete. So I like a little
Right.
onyons in there and
You have to
garlic.
grate it in a box
Yeah.
grater.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it a little chunky. too.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, anyone that's listening or everyone that's listening, sometimes take the effort and do that. So what would you recommend, Jackie? They would just grab what kind of chili peppers are your most, I guess, popular ones to use for a basic like Texas chili? Let's talk Texas because we in Texas.
I like to use. Well, I don't want to. Seeing that I'm going back to chili in
Yeah,
in
chili.
2019, I don't want to list out all of my
No.
my number
give
one
us any
favorite
recipes.
chili because
Yeah.
it's really that one is my secret ingredient because I love this one, and it's this little black chili, and it doesn't even look like a chili, but I love it.
Yeah.
But I do like the different, like the Anaheim. I'm
Right.
not Anaheim.
There's
I'm sorry,
the
I'm like
I know I'm
losing
just
my,
I got a
thought.
total blank on the chili peppers, but you can go into your grocery aisle, you guys, even talk to your produce person and ask them go to the dried chilies and pick out. There's also that really are the chili arbol, but that's pretty hot. And there's hatch green chili because you can make
yeah.
you can make a hatch green chili too. You can make a white bean chili or whatever.
Ooh.
or with different meats. So
Yeah.
I know. I didn't have to go there, but
You had to try to
Yeah.
do the Boston thing here.
I know.
No,
Or the Cincinnati.
No,
I don't know about
you know,
you've done Cincinnati
I have
chili.
done Cincinnati chili. It was, let me just say,
That's served
everybody.
over pasta.
Yeah, everybody
Weird.
served over spaghetti. And when I took it to work and shared it with someone, he said, "Don't do that again." And he's probably looking and laughing right now because he's like, "Don't ever. Next time you do that again, we're not friends."
We're going to get a rope, because you're like, it's like paste pecani right on that.
Yeah, no,
That's too up north.
But it looked good. And just
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it's good. But if you're used to Texas chili
It's not
or
the
Southern
same.
chili, it's nowhere close to the same. You won't throw no cornbread in it, that's for sure.
Oh, I like chili and cornbread.
Oh,
That's a way to go.
it's raining too. I might have to.
I know it got cold again.
I would say go into a Mexican store,
Yeah.
and if you really just want to take the time, just pull like 7 different bags of chilies, and
Yeah.
then toast them and grind them and taste each one.
Mhm.
You'll find that each one has just special flavors. That's so that's what I would suggest.
Now you said something that's very important, and I want people that are listening and watching to understand this. When you want to really cook at a different level, start going to your Asian markets, your Indian markets, your Mexican markets,
Right.
because you're going to find stuff there that you'll never find in any other place. I mean, when I went
Exactly.
to an Asian market,
Oh, I love Asian
my
markets, yeah.
goodness, I was in heaven. And like you said, I've bought all kinds of seasonings and played with them and different textures of
Sure.
different flours and stuff. And so you up your game. Even though you may make a traditional American dish, you also can experiment, like we were saying yesterday. Play with your food. It's like that's what I like to say. That's how you get to the World Food Championships if you want to become a competitor. Is you have to be able to go in and fail, but be able to enhance your game.
So you're a little bit nervous, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe?
I mean, even a lot of with the cinnamon. Okay,
Oh.
everybody thinks that they're just one type of cinnamon.
No, there
Oh
isn't.
no, there are too many different types of
Exactly.
cinnamon, and they all have a different taste.
Yeah.
So like you said, go to the Asian market, you have the Saigon cinnamon and
Yep.
stuff like that, and you go to Mexican market, a different type of, the canela. They have different types.
That's true.
So
I bought
they
some-
all
yeah.
taste different.
I
Yes.
bought some cinnamon recently, and it tasted like it was cinnamon, but it definitely had like a different flavor profile to it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really sure. But anyway, I was saying, I know you're a little bit nervous. We got about 2 minutes in this segment. Tell everybody a little bit about how you're feeling just going into the final table. Are you feeling pretty good, or we can't ask any secrets. This is no fun, but okay.
Well, I just was not sure because we just got our final directives last week.
Okay.
And about what challenge 1 is and challenge 2 and challenge 3. And we know what
What you're doing.
we know what kind of like the gist of things, and some things are going to be surprise and stuff like that. So I have kind of like an idea of things. So I'm
Well,
kind of
you got time to strategize.
I'm kind of working
Yeah.
through. I'm kind of working through the things that I know, and the things that my assistants know, and putting and knowing what we know of that cuisine, and then trying to incorporate that into whatever the challenge is. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So we're just working through that process. And I think that's the best part of it, is just working through the process.
And we'll talk a little bit more in the next segment about, because I can talk about the 3 dishes that you have to make, because Mike McLeod's giving me that information. So I'll bring that up a little bit, and you can just share if you want to about maybe some strategy, or if you want to share just another recipe would be fun too. We like to talk about food. Or Sean, what do you got?
Real quickly, what is your, well, when we come back from the break, I want to get your contact information, your social media, Twitter, Facebook, and all that. But my hat's off to you, because this will be the 4th year third year I've been there, or is it the second?
You missed last year.
No, I was there last year. So yeah, this will be my third year going.
You missed 2017.
And I I'm an intense guy, but that's intense. So
it is.
When we come back, I'd like to get your social media and everything.
Y'all come back.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
Funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone. RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism,
Yes,
so you're
it does.
burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Hi, welcome back to Try This Dish Radio. How are you doing, Sean?
I'm intensely listening. I pulled this music pretty quick.
I like this music.
Yeah.
It's good.
And it's, matter of fact, the guy that I pulled it from, I sent him an email. I said, you know what, you might want to go in and do this professionally.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got some skills as a former DJ, and I know how hard it is to put this kind of music together. My boy got some skills.
So where'd you pull it off so people will know?
YouTube.
Off of YouTube?
Well, I have a YouTube account, so I'm able to pull music from there. So
awesome. Well, welcome back, you guys. We are speaking with Jackie Seavey, the WFC 2018 Chili Champ. And we're talking a little bit about the final table and going into the final table and how she's preparing for that. So I was going to ask you, what do you think is when you went in as the head cook last year, what was the major difference or that you may have felt as opposed to when you were sous chef? Can you give us a little insight into that?
Yes, well, it was being the captain of the ship, and but it wasn't that difficult for me because I had that warm up, being the sous chef of, for my boss, and for my boss. I mean, I've been cooking with him he and I worked together for the last 13 years. We compete a lot together, so I know his style, he knows my style, and so it's easy when you cook with somebody that you cook with on a normal basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
you're used to how each other works in the kitchen.
So the person who I have doing it for me in this last chili championship, I've also been cooking with her for the last 13 years. So again,
Nice.
we have that sync, as we're just in sync and we're in tune with each other, our cooking styles.
Sean?
Yeah.
Did I answer the question right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You're straight on.
Yes, you did. Real quickly, how can people contact you and just kind of see what you're working on in the restaurant arena?
Well, I'm at the Island View Casino Resort in Gulfport, Mississippi. We are the only casino here in Gulfport, but we have about 12 casinos here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Wow.
And so whenever we do something that we win or a competition, they usually post it on the website. I'm also on Facebook, but it's set to my privacy settings. I'm not kind of out there. I have intentions of having a food page. I just can never get around to it because
I do that.
I'm always so busy, And I really don't know how all of these, the bloggers and all these people have time to do that. But I guess if that's your full-time job, but I'm usually so busy between, helping my mother is elderly, so I have time for her and my husband, and then of course work takes a lot of time. So that's my excuse.
Well, don't feel bad. I haven't been on Twitter since October, and I work a full-time job and run not one but two small businesses. So I get it. I understand.
He wants me to say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
No, that's what Hair Dog does every day. He says he's sorry. Working in a restaurant at a casino, how hard is that? Because I've heard that is like really intense.
It's no more intense than working for corporate, franchise or mom and pop restaurant or catering. We kind of do it all here. So here I manage about 22 room chefs to sous chefs, people in a salaried chef position, and who manage the other cooks. And then all in total, we have about 160 cooks throughout all the kitchens. We have 10 kitchens, 15 outlets.
What?
15 outlets, 10 kitchens.
You're not busy at all, girl. Come on. Wow.
Yeah. The good thing about that is helping opening up each restaurant. I know which outlet is on their menu and what food that they. So if I need duck, I know where to go. If I need basil, I know where to. I kind of take my 200 pan and walk around the outlet, and when I start dreaming up things that I want, I just kind of let me go get fresh corn from the steamer, and let me go get this and that. So it's actually kind of like having my own Whole Food market.
Oh, that's cool.
At my disposal when I go to work.
So anyone that's listening, they can come find you at Island View Casino Resort, right, in Gulfport, Mississippi. They can ask for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, come see you. It sounds like a neat place.
They can ask for me
Yeah. I'm gonna have to bring my mom there because we like to hit casinos when we used to go to Orange Beach every year. Yeah, we always hit a couple.
We have like I said, we're pretty unique because we have two casinos. We have a smoking casino, and we just recently opened the beach casino, which is a non-smoking casino, and they're connected by a walkway across Highway 90, and we're right on the beach.
That's smart. That's really smart.
So.
And their business is probably.
So we have both.
Is their business good at both casinos? Either way.
We're always busy.
Always.
We're always busy.
That's good.
We have a 500-seat buffet. We do the crab legs on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And
she said crab legs.
But and it's unlimited crab legs, and you get to get them yourself.
I should have just driven there
for you, like most of other places.
Let's see. How far is that from here? How many hours is that from here?
I'm thinking I'm getting in my car and heading that way instead of going out to the country.
I'm going to have to hang out with y'all.
They're pretty good snow crab legs, too. They're huge.
Nummy.
Crab legs, and now I'm sure you have gumbo. You have to tell me. What is your favorite?
Oh, yeah. We have, yes.
What is your favorite dish to cook?
My favorite dish to cook? Well, does it have to be a dish, or can it be
anything? A dish, it can be baking.
Oh, I love cooking bacon. One of these days, I hope I get the opportunity to be in the bacon category for the WFC. I mean, if I got
Bacon.
a chance to switch, you know, because now it's like, okay, I've done chili, now I'm ready to do something else. Because I am not ADD, but I am ADD when it comes to food. Once I do something, I'm ready to move on to the next.
learn something else. That's kind of how I am too.
I'm ADD bad.
I got to ask Patrick to jump in here too. Patrick?
My favorite thing to do is,
hey,
Patrick?
I was going to ask Patrick Mosher. Hi, Patrick Mosher. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I just wanted to see what you might have to inflect here. Is that a real word? I don't know.
So I had a question about, I missed a little of the conversation. I left the studio, but hey, welcome to Spoony, by the way, and congratulations on your win. If I need some money, could I hit you up?
I don't have anything to do with that.
So look, I've been a chef for a very long time, 30 plus years, but there's always something that I need to kind of work on honing my skills, some area I don't necessarily feel deficient, but a little untrained perhaps or uneducated. Was there anything that you were worried about going into the competition without giving away any any secrets that you had to kind of look to a mentor to practice or develop something on your own that you could kind of hone those skills and tune up a little bit?
There's always, I always like to say that not every chef, even the ones, the master chefs and all these, you know, hyped up chefs on television, nobody knows everything. And so if it's something that I am not comfortable with or I am not very familiar with, I research. I look for the best. I get in the kitchen. I start from the bottom. I pull out a recipe from one of the more famous chefs, and I'll do it. I'll try it, and then I kind of get the idea, and then I just tweak it a little bit, kind of like make it my style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with New Orleans food, and I work with some great chefs that have worked in New Orleans, and so I do make something and have them critique it and maybe give them some, give me some feedback on what more I'm looking for. And there's so many different styles of cooking. It's not, Cajun and Creole is not just one style of cooking. You have some of them that are more country cooked, and you have some that are more city cooked. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very different. Some things are just like the older style is kind of like heavy roux, lots of roux, whereas the more modern. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I try to
rabbit hole.
Get the feed, and I know the people that I work with and the different people that I know, and so the person, if I'm trying to if I am trying to emulate some kind of flavor, I go to that person who does it the best in my book, and I try to learn from them. Even if they do work for me, it doesn't matter. It's a part of a collaboration. Yes. And so anyway, I try to educate myself by going to the people who I think I would like to do it like. You know what I mean?
That's the beautiful
thing. Does that
thing.
answer your question?
That's the beautiful thing about having YouTube, because when you have YouTube, you look at something. That's how I learned how to make steak.
I love YouTube. I'm a junkie.
Because I'll watch something and like, okay, I'm going to do that. I got to try that. So,
Patrick?
I just had a question, and I'm sorry if you've already asked this, but was there a specific chef that inspired you to either enter the field or stay in the field? Because I'll tell you, I entered the culinary field a long time ago, and I kind of got burned out very quickly, but then some people like Robert Del Grande and Dean Faring came along, and the whole Southwestern cuisine was born. Even though I specialize in Japanese food, they kept me in the business. It was something new and fresh and unique, instead of the old traditional French and Pacific Rim and California. And there wasn't nothing wrong with that. But was there anyone who inspired you above and beyond that may have had a big influence on your career?
Famous or not famous?
Doesn't matter.
Famous or not famous?
That doesn't matter.
Yes, there is somebody who inspires me, and it's my boss. And David Crabtree is the executive chef here. Like I said, this will be, I was a sous chef at the WFC for the first 2 years, and then this last year I won first place in my own category, and he placed fourth in seafood. Yay. And he is a big, he's a big competitor. He loves to compete. He keeps it going. We are always competing. So when you work with people who are competitors by nature, and you work closely with them, there's a couple other people here at work that also, Deborah Thomas and Calvin Light, and we have other people here that compete. It's infectious. It's infectious.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
You mentioned being a sous chef. Would you, if someone wanted to get into competition cooking, would you suggest that they do that? I mean, I would love to do it, but I tell you, I
had a lot of fun doing it last year.
I don't know how to cut onions right, so I might not.
Oh my goodness, you're funny.
The World Food Championships just posted. If you're following them, the Taste of America recipe contest, and it was an online recipe contest. And actually, the person who was my sous chef. In the chili championship, and actually is going to be part of the, helping with the final table.
Jean-Paul?
Just won her entry. She won first place in the state of Mississippi.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And now she's not going to be my sous chef anymore. But I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's going to have her own team.
Congratulations.
And they do that every year. I mean, if you just want to qualify for, try to qualify in a recipe contest.
So, let me mention real quick, if there's people that are listening, I guess it's a little late, but if you don't know what the World Food Championships is, it is the largest food sport event in the world. And this year it's moving to Dallas-Fort Worth. It will be here for 3 years. It is October 16th through the 19th. You can go online at worldfoodchampionships.com or find them on Facebook for more information about tickets. You can also become a judge. They have a class up in Dallas on May 5th, I believe. So all the information about the World Food Championships is right there. They have a list of the winners from last year and what the event's all about. So just in case anyone that's listening is like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Now you do. Now you can go listen and follow us along as we interview the champs. Now today at 1:05 Central Standard Time on Food Biz Pro with Patrick Mosier, we will have, Patrick's going to have on Robert Mansfield, who is the steak champ. So you guys make sure you tune back in at 1:05. And then as Andy Imhoff produces his podcast, Pardon My Fork, which will also come out through Spoony, we will let you guys know through posts and tagging. So y'all make sure and follow Spoony Radio and like and follow Pardon My Fork. Of course, Try This Dish Radio too would be nice. So Jackie, that's all. I just wanted to give a shout out to the World Food Championships. And so people that didn't know what was going on might know. And
okay.
Sean?
Well, I have a question for Patrick.
It's a lot of fun.
It is. It's fabulous fun.
I have a quick question for Patrick.
Oh, yeah, Patrick.
Yep.
Me and you have to get together. You have to tell me you're going to have to show me how to fix some Japanese food.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love Japanese. It's an acquired taste.
He's like, what are you talking about? Japanese? What?
Well, so, I mean, it can be. It depends on what you're talking about. Actually, there's a phrase that describes Japanese food. It's a proverb that says, let little seem like much as long as it is fresh and beautiful.
Oh.
So you eat seasonally, fresh.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
Small portions, lots of garnish, make it ornate. So it's an experience. You don't have to have a lot of food to have an experience. That's why these small bites are so popular, and not just in Japanese food, but it's kind of transcended that, and it's crossed over from tapas to sushi. It's kind of infused into all the food that we look at now from every cuisine. But I can teach you that. I sure can.
I definitely want to learn.
We'll teach you what umami is.
Okay.
Umami.
If I could just figure it out.
Umami.
Jackie, are you still on the line?
Yes, she is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hey, real quick question. I know I'll let you go because I know everybody has more questions. But do you have any advice for someone who might want to enter the arena of food sport as a now seasoned veteran?
Yes. Uh, so if you don't have an entry in, I suggest going on to the World Food Championships website and look at the different qualifying events that they have. It's listed there. They're all over the United States, Canada. There's some overseas. So I suggest doing that, and then try to get into the World Food Championships. And the next thing I would say is whatever you're doing, do a lot of research.
Right.
Cultural, as far as when it was in Orange Beach, we knew that a lot of the judges would be kind of from around that area, so we try to
Very smart.
Do food that is palatable to that area, cooking for your audience.
Yeah.
Really, that's what you're doing. A lot of people, but now we're going to Dallas. We're going to have probably a lot more people who are based in Dallas. We'll probably have some people coming over from Orange Beach, judges and everything. So I would say try to think about cooking for where you are. It's no different from the restaurant business where you cook for your audience, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a quick question.
That's how I see it.
Since you work in the
Smart advice.
Culinary arena, do you see a trend when it comes to food or the foodie lifestyle versus a few years ago? Do you see, like for instance, like for me, when I travel for food. You can have everything else. I'm all there about. It's like I said, it's all about the food. When we went to the Philippines, it was all about the food. Now there's some things I'm not going to eat, but
yes.
Do you see a trend there? Do you see there are more people traveling to eat food and to enjoy the experience of a different type of culture of food?
Oh, well, my friends do. I do.
Yeah.
I travel a lot. My son lived in San Francisco for a while, and so when I would go up there, I would eat the different places there, or wherever I go, I try to experience the local culture of food.
Yes.
And also, food trends. We are depends on where you are is who you're cooking for. So I love to go to Chicago and go eat at Portillo's or just try to enjoy some of the local culture, because that ends up influencing you down the road when you are creating something, when you're trying to create or recreate something. Travel has a lot to do with it. You only know as much as what you're exposed to. So I say get out there and expose yourself.
And, exactly. And the three things for the final table, I'll just bring this up so everyone can know that this is what's going to go on. Usually at the final table, you compete within your category. Now this year they've changed this, and it's going to be, the rules are that it has to be Cajun-inspired cuisine, and it's 3 rounds. And then a really neat tidbit at the end is that whoever's the grand champion's recipe will go, or menu, I guess recipe or whatever dish will go on Antoine's, and they haven't changed their menu in 100 years. So how do you? That's huge. That's amazing. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yep, that's what it is.
Wow.
What do I think about that?
About
first of all, I think I like this format that they're doing now, because it's more apples to apples instead of apples to oranges and bananas and pears. Where before you have, sandwich against a steak or a seafood, or it's not an apples to apples comparison. Whereas everybody has a more level playing field. So I think that's awesome. I think
Agreed.
that's how that's how it should be. And so the first round, all 10 competitors will make the dish that they tell us to do, but we put our own twist on it.
Right.
But it's got to be a New Orleans flair, and then from there they'll eliminate some, and then whoever's left over goes to the second challenge, which is a specific dish that is out of
it's an infusion dish, I believe, or structure dish.
Not a restaurant.
Right.
And it's duplicating somebody else's dish.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the third one is that. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, we're looking forward to
what
it.
You just said.
Yes, yeah. I'll have to get all the down low on
Are
that.
you coming
so I
to the
can say-
final table?
Well, I was wanting to, but I haven't heard back from Mike McLeod. I'm going to have to call him because it is a closed event. So they're filming that, I believe. So last year, there was about 200 of us that went to Arkansas, Bentonville, Arkansas for the final table. And it was really interesting, but I believe it's a little bit different this year. I'm not sure yet. I will be checking on that and letting y'all know because I'll be getting in my car, and then when I do, I'm coming by your casino. I'll stay 2 nights at least and win $1 million.
Okay.
That's what I need.
Let me know.
I
Let
will.
me know. I'm
You
here.
know I will.
I'm always here.
I'll have to put some vacation time in. You can win your $1 million. I'm gonna get fat on gumbo.
Well, I'll get fat too.
I want
Fat
to
her.
hook. I want to see that
And
500.
we have good gumbo.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Ooh,
Shrimp and grits.
Oh my goodness.
We have awesome gumbo.
I got warm.
Yeah, each outlet has their version of gumbo, but they're all really good. And
We'll have to
it's
try every
seafood.
one.
I mean, we're using Gulf shrimp,
Oh,
crawfish, smoked
bug.
sausage. I mean, okra.
oh yes.
They're doing a nice dark roux.
Oh.
That sometimes you know when they're making gumbo when you pass through the kitchen and you smell the nutty scent in
Yes.
there.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
it's like
ma'am.
somebody's making gumbo.
Yes, ma'am. That is very true. That is very true. My wife, well, yeah, they like gumbo. It's kind of a acquired taste for some people.
It depends on the roux. For me, I don't like the real dark. I do.
I like the
I don't
real,
like
real
super dark bitter. It's just me.
I do.
How about filet powder, the gumbo file?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like that
Gumbo
better
file.
than the roux thickened, or?
I think probably so.
I mean, that's
But to be honest, I haven't had enough of the different types to probably be able to discern that. You know, I haven't had I really need to have more real gumbo, which means you go where it's actually created.
all right. Here's the trick question of the day for all three of you.
All right.
So filet powder, gumbo file. Do you know what that is? It's a ground root. I'll tell you that much.
Filet.
It's a seasoning.
It's ground sassafras. Sweet. Sorry.
Of course she's gonna know.
Sorry.
No, a lot of what's funny is you'd be surprised how many people don't know that. Even
I've
chefs.
heard of it.
It's a green powder that tastes it's a unique flavor. Let's put it that
Right.
way.
Oh,
And it's very important.
Well, you add it in the end, and it helps with the thickening, and then you add it in the end, and it kind of helps with the thickening.
Okay.
Like the gumbo, like okra, when you add okra in the end, all the slime comes out.
Yeah, a lot of times it's on the table.
and it.
Yeah. See, I add okra in my gumbo, because
I like okra and gumbo.
I love it.
I do. Some people don't like that, but to me, that seems like traditional. But I guess, like, once again, Jackie, like, there's so many different kinds of, there's so many different kinds of chicken soup that we make as Americans, right? Your mama might make it different than my mama. So it's the same thing with gumbo, I think. Probably no, that doesn't go in gumbo.
I agree with you with the.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I like the dark. I like the chocolate roux.
Yes.
You do?
I like the when the roux is not the dark one. I know what you're talking about.
Right.
The one that
It's
looks
bitter.
like almost like black bean soup.
Yeah. Can't do that.
Like I don't like it that far. Like you said, because you're skating the borderline of possible scorch.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the chocolate roux is nutty and
exactly.
you can just taste it. So. But that's what I prefer.
Y'all are gonna have to warn me next time she's gonna call in because I need to eat before the show.
I know. I'm starving. Let's order out. Let's order out in some gumbo.
Hey, I'm gonna say
I can taste it when I smell it.
Oh,
Right.
Oh
If
my
it smells
goodness.
good,
Yeah.
I might have
probably
to
gonna taste good.
I might have to go get me some of that now.
Hey Jackie, thanks for coming on Spoony Radio. I'm gonna let them. I'll let Sean and Darie close the show, but you're welcome back anytime if you want to call in or contribute, or you'd like to be on some of the other shows. Just let us know. Mike McLeod, the WFC, and all the competitors and participants have been amazingly loyal to Spoony, and we appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
She said she'll be on next week. Some more recipes.
Yeah.
No, wait, she's got to prepare. We're not going to put that on her right just yet. We're going to give you a break, Jackie, just for about a month.
Believe me, I was going to ask you for a recipe, but you got a lot on your plate. But I'm definitely going to have to go out to Gulfport and
you guys.
that up.
Yeah, if you guys are heading that way, go check out or try to find Jackie or try to find her. She's probably going to be very busy at Island View Casino Resort in Gulfport, Mississippi. Also, check out the World Food Championships
and
page.
we have awesome chefs here. We have
Oh, yeah.
awesome. I tell you, I work
a lot of
with
restaurants.
some of the best chefs on the coast. I mean, I really admire the chefs that I work with. I'm honored to. So anyway,
Fabulous.
Yeah, be careful because you get really heavy real quick down here.
Well, good luck. Good luck with the upcoming competition. We wish you the best of luck, Godspeed, and go for it and be safe heading there and back. And just good luck. And thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. And Sean? Yeah.
Yes. I want to congratulate
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I want to also thank you for coming on Try This Dish Radio and Spoony Radio for sure, because it's a lot of people don't realize how chefs really work hard to come to this competition. And it's not just chefs, it's also home cooks.
Right.
And I think when you go to competitions like this, even if you don't win, you take something away. First of all, it's like a family reunion. So you take things away and you learn different things. And I learned from people that were doing stuff. So,
Yes, thank you for coming in. And thank you for listening, everybody, here at Try This Dish Radio on Spoony Radio. Tune in next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time when we have our next WFC champ. Anyway, have a great week and see you then.
It's all about the food.
It is. And cooking with love.